Hi, my name is Roshni Damani. I'm a 2005 graduate of the John Molson School of Business from Concordia University with a major in Management Information Systems. We're on site today at my current employer, Johnson & Johnson. Over the past 2.5 years, I worked for 3 different companies that J&J owns, with my final placement being here in Montreal. MIS is essentially the management of information. What it is taking all that information that's out there and available to companies and being able to put it into a format that becomes useful and meaningful for them to make better business decisions. What MIS also comprises is really being able to understand different functional areas of the business and being able to use technology to really optimize those areas. MIS is probably a little bit of a less popular option just because there's a slight lack of information when it comes to MIS. I mean, when you finish your high school or your CEGEP courses, everyone's fully aware of what an accountant does. You know what an advertising exec does, but nobody knows what kind of career options there abide for people who do an MIS degree. It's probably one of the reasons it's a little bit less popular. It's not as much of a safe career option. Another common misconception people have is that in order to be an MIS, you need to have this firm and solid grasp of programming and development and hardcore IT kind of things. That's not really it. You need to have that aptitude for technology, and you need to be able to understand technology, but you also have to have a really well-rounded and solid set of other business skills. The reason I chose to study MIS is because I really enjoyed a lot of the business courses I took in CEGEP, but I had this strong interest in technology and kind of wanted to see how I could relate the two in my field. So MIS to me was the perfect bridge to kind of get the best of both worlds. I also felt that a lot of what I would learn in my MIS courses, which I did quite find to be true, is something they can't really learn by picking up a textbook and just rifling through it. So much of it was focused on practical application. For example, one course we took was called Systems Analysis and Design, where you would go out, analyze a company's processes, and figure out ways and suggest those ways to them so that they could be better in what they did every day. I definitely think it's beneficial for students to get involved during their undergraduate career with activities outside of the classroom, whether it's case competitions, working for the university, being involved with another committee or an association. Do something. It's really what's going to differentiate you from the rest of the pack when it comes to job interviews, and it kind of gives you that added edge. It'll add some value to your degree. You'll meet a whole bunch of different people, and you'll have a fantastic time along the way, so do not hesitate to get involved. I was involved with so many different things during my undergraduate career, and honestly, each one of them was so different from the next, but they were all fantastic experiences. I worked as a research assistant for one of the professors in the MIS department. I was on the MIS Students Association, which was a lot of planning of conferences and cocktails and networking with people in the industry. I also spent 2 years involved with undergraduate case competitions, and one of those 2 years was as the Vice President of Academics for the case comps, which involved recruiting other students and placing them on specific teams and sending them to multiple competitions. It was great. I actually began working for J&J in July 2005. I found out about the position. It's a rotational leadership development program in information technology through on-campus recruitment at Concordia. Applied for the position and went through a series of interviews and received notification that I'd been selected about 4 or 5 months down the line, and started working with them since July. So it's been about 2.5 years, and it's been a really great time so far. Now, my role has really varied a lot over the last 2.5 years that I've been working here. I've had the opportunity to work with 3 different companies that Johnson & Johnson owns. So I've held different positions in IT as a business relationship manager, as a systems analyst, and as a project manager. And now, come January, I'm going to move into a little bit more of a marketing-centric role. It focuses on customer relationship management and one-to-one marketing, which really has so much to do with information technology because everything in regards to those promotions is done over the web or with email. It's so hard to describe a typical workday because it varies so much in IT and information systems. One day you could be working as a systems analyst, and the next day you could be coding something, and the week after that, who knows, you could be a project manager for a global project that's about to roll out. The nice thing about IT is that you really do get exposure to so many different functional areas, and you're constantly working on different projects that evolve with the business. So it's very rare that within information systems or IT that you get pigeonholed into doing just one responsibility. You get the chance to work on so many different things because you have to evolve as the business evolves. The great thing about how the John Molson School of Business, and specifically MIS, helps you prepare for your career is that so much of the work that you do, your coursework, is devoted towards practical application. So you're really doing things with actual small businesses. It's not just theoretical. You're able to go out there and use your projects and apply them to the real world, which is nice. I mean, so much of what you learn is on the job, but I wouldn't dismiss what I learned in university, and a lot of it really did prove to be beneficial when I started in the working world. I really feel that there's a lot of misconception on the part of students that there are no opportunities in IT, IS, MIS, whatever acronym you choose to use. When I started my undergraduate career was in 2001 when we had that tech crash, and people were losing jobs all over the place. But you know what, that didn't faze me, and you know, the whole industry is on an upswing once again, and no matter what, companies are looking for more and more ways to use technology to improve their processes and to improve their business, and they're really looking for people who can understand that but also have a firm grasp of every other functional area that there is. So that's where MIS students come into play. I don't at all think that it's a decision that people should, or something that people should be worried about when it comes to future career prospects. When I look back on my studies, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think I would have done anything differently. I mean, of course, there's always that one exam that I wish I'd studied a little bit harder for, or I'd gotten an A in a course instead of a B, or whatever it may be, but I'm definitely so happy with the choice I made by going to JMSB, studying MIS. It's put me in the kind of spot where I want to be today. It's taking my career in the direction I wanted it to go in. In hindsight, I mean, there's smaller things, like I wish I'd looked into the International Student Exchange Program a little bit more in depth, had that opportunity to go and study abroad, or made the conscious decision to get involved a little bit earlier. So as opposed to just, you know, being involved with competitions and associations for 2 years, I could have had it for 3 or 4, but overall, no regrets.